Okay, so when you have your subtractive sculpture kind of shaped to how you like it, make sure it's not too blocky, that you have some areas that kind of thin down. You can kind of use your finger to kind of get things more shaped to kind of give a little more interest. You can use the nail file and kind of see it's a little more interesting when it has less of a blockiness to it. So play around with it, and then you have to do at least one area of texture. So I'm going to do texture along this side. I think I'm going to add just some lining to kind of give it a flow. You can use some clay tools for this. I just like using a pencil, honestly. So take your time. This is not an instantaneous thing. That's part of this process. Sorry, bumped it. I think I might want to bring this through. It has kind of an interesting flow to it. So I'm gonna bring this around. I'm gonna bring it around this way too. And then maybe down this side. Kind of has an infinity feel to it, which I'm kind of digging right now. You know what? Maybe I'll join these together. Just bring it around. And then it's just sort of fully wrapped around it. I like it. So I'll just kind of go through and fine tune my lines here. The two examples that I have, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to wrap around things. You just have to have an area of texture. So maybe don't blow on it, especially since we're in time of COVID. But that was a poor choice because now I have to sweep this off the table. Make sure you clean up your mess, please. This now I have to coat so that I'll be able to paint it however I want. There is an envelope that looks like this. These are gloves. You don't have to use gloves for this part if you don't want to. I have ginormous hands, so these barely fit me, but it's okay. You're going to take regular Elmer's glue. It's already in the middle of the table. You're going to liberally douse this like you're glazing a donut. Getting it down into all these little crevices. Really coating it on all sides, 360 degrees. What this is doing is sealing the pores of the foam so that you'll be able to paint and not have 10 zillion gallons of paint get absorbed into the foam. It also makes you able to spray paint it if you end up so desiring to do so. You can really choose any realm of paint you want to use for this, but I recommend either acrylic or the spray enamel, especially if you want kind of a metal finish. You're gonna have to let me know if you are wanting to do that, because it's gonna require me to go and get some more supplies. So right now I don't have a glove on this hand, so I'm not going to touch it just yet. I'm kind of massaging it down into those little areas. Make sure that the glue is fully coating everything. I think I'm almost down in there. I am. Oh, still have some right there. Still have some over here. Really get that glue down into all the little nooks and crannies. It's like an English muffin up in here. And once you can't see any little holes peeking at you, you can declare it coated. Still have a couple nooks and crannies over here. And then what I usually recommend doing is take your glove off. You can set this right here. Just don't let it dry on the paper because it will get stuck. It's much easier for most people to remove these gloves than it is for me. But you can then, I'm gonna have to touch it. Lay your sculpture on the glove itself, roll the glue off, and just let it dry, because then you'll have your shell that we can paint. So you want to get it coated thoroughly. Thoroughly is the main thing. And then after that, you can, since I already had some glue on my hands, I'm going to recoat right here, because as I mentioned before, someone decided to break it and see what it was made of. So I'm going to recoat, and then I'll be able to repaint. But I want to let that sit and dry. So that is that section, and then we'll paint it. This is like that metallic finish using the spray paint, although you could use just metallic acrylic as well. So texture, then coating.